In the vast darkness of space, countless stars twinkled like diamonds on black velvet. Among these stars, many alien races had built great empires. They had ships that could jump across the galaxy in seconds and weapons that could destroy planets. These aliens thought they ruled space. One of these races was the Zarkon. They looked like tall, blue lizards walking on two legs. The Zarkon were proud of their huge fleet of warships. They bullied smaller races and took over their planets. Another powerful group was the Eldar. These aliens looked like glowing balls of light. They were very smart and had the most advanced technology in the galaxy. But the Eldar didn't like to fight. They stayed in their own part of space and didn't talk to other races much. Then there were the Krill. These bug-like aliens were always hungry for new lands. They sent out swarms of ships to find new planets to eat. Many races feared the day the Krill would come to their worlds. The Galactic Council was supposed to keep peace among all these races, but it was weak. The big empires did what they wanted. Small races had no voice. Things were not fair in space. Far from all this, in a quiet part of the galaxy, was a small blue planet called Earth. Humans lived there. They had just started to explore space. They had a few colonies on nearby planets and moons. But to the big alien empires, humans seemed weak and unimportant. Humans knew about the aliens. They had met some friendly races who told them about the galaxy. But Earth kept quiet. They didn't want to attract attention from the bullies like the Zarkon or the hungry Krill. Instead, humans worked hard. They built better ships and weapons in secret. They trained their best men and women to be space soldiers and pilots. Humans knew that one day they would have to face the dangers of the galaxy. One day, at a big meeting of the Galactic Council, something important happened. A small furry alien called the Pip stood up to speak. The Pip were a race that lived near Earth. They knew humans well. "Friends," the Pip said, "there's trouble coming. The Krill are on the move again. They have sent a huge fleet towards the Orion Arm. Many planets are in danger." The council room filled with worried voices. The Orion Arm was home to many small races who couldn't defend themselves. If the Krill attacked, millions would die. "We must send ships to help," said one alien. "It's too far. We can't get there in time," said another. As the aliens argued, the Pip spoke again. "There is hope. A new race might be able to help. They're called humans." The room went quiet. Then many aliens started to laugh. "Humans? Those primitives from Earth," a Zarkon said. "They barely have spaceships. Their technology is a joke," an Eldar added. "They would be crushed by the Krill." But the Pip didn't give up. "Humans are stronger than you think. They have been preparing. They have a fleet ready to fight." The council leader, a wise old alien, raised a hand for silence. "Very well. Let us contact these humans. But I fear it will not be enough. The Krill are too powerful." As the council meeting ended, a message was sent towards Earth. It was a call for help, a plea to save millions of lives. Little did the aliens know, humanity had been waiting for this moment. In hidden bases on Earth and secret stations in space, soldiers got ready. Engineers fired up powerful engines on ships no one knew existed. The human fleet was small compared to the massive alien armadas, but each ship was a masterpiece of technology and human spirit. They were crewed by the best Earth had to offer, men and women ready to show the galaxy what humanity could do. As the message from the Council reached Earth, humanity's secret fleet prepared to launch. The aliens might laugh now, but soon they would learn an important lesson. Never underestimate humans. The stage was set. A great battle was coming, and humanity was ready to step into the galactic spotlight. As the call for help reached Earth, the planet buzzed with activity. In a secret underground base deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Sarah Chen stood before a giant screen. It showed Earth's small but mighty space fleet. "It's time," she said to the room full of officers. "Prepare all ships for launch." Outside, The ground rumbled. Hidden doors in the mountainside slid open. One by one, sleek warships rose into the sky. They didn't look like much. Each ship was about the size of an old Navy destroyer, but looks could be deceiving. These ships, part of the Earth Defense Force, EDF, were the best humanity had to offer. They were fast, tough, and packed with surprises. Admiral Chen had helped design them herself. As the fleet gathered in orbit, alien observers watched in secret. They had expected to see clumsy, outdated ships. Instead, they saw vessels that moved with grace and power. On the bridge of the flagship, EDF Horizon, Captain Jack Torres looked at his crew. They were young, from all parts of Earth. Many aliens thought humans were weak because they looked different from each other. But Torres knew this was their strength. "Comms, send a message to Admiral Chen," Torres said. "The fleet is ready." Back on Earth, Chen nodded as she got the message. She turned to her second-in-command, a tall woman named Lisa Wang. "They're ready. Should we tell them the whole story?" Wang shook her head. "Not yet. Let's see how they handle the first challenge." Chen agreed. The fleet knew they were going to help some aliens, but they didn't know about the krill yet. It was a test, to see if humanity's ships and crews were really ready for the big leagues. In space, the human fleet formed up. There were only 20 ships, tiny compared to the huge fleets of the Zarkon or the krill. But each human ship had secrets. Take the EDF Nova, for example. It looked like a simple patrol ship, but hidden inside was a weapon that could take out ships 10 times its size. The aliens would never see it coming. Or the EDF Phantom, a ship that could turn invisible, not just to eyes, but to all kinds of alien sensors. It was perfect for spying or sneak attacks. Every ship in the fleet had something special. Humans knew they couldn't match alien numbers, so they got creative instead. As the fleet prepared to jump to light speed, a message came in. It was from the Galactic Council. They were sending a small group of alien ships to help the humans. Captain Torres frowned as he read the message. "They're sending babysitters," he said to his crew. "They think we need watching." His first officer, Sarah Lee, laughed. "Well, we'll just have to show them what we can do." The alien ships arrived. 5 vessels, each from a different race. They were big and flashy, covered in weapons. Next to them, the human ships looked plain and weak. A Zarkon captain hailed the horizon. His scaly face filled the screen, looking down at Torres with amusement. "Greetings, humans," the Zarkon said. "We're here to assist you in your mission." He said it like it was a joke. Torres smiled politely. "We appreciate your help. Please form up behind us. We're about to make the jump to light speed." The Zarkon laughed. "Behind you? Surely you jest. Your ships can't possibly be fast enough to." His words were cut off as the human fleet suddenly vanished. They had jumped to light speed so fast, the alien ships didn't even see them go. In the emptiness of space, the 5 alien ships floated, stunned. The Zarkon captain's mouth hung open in shock. Far ahead, racing through the stars, the human fleet flew towards their first real test. They had surprised the aliens once. Soon, they would get the chance to do it again. Admiral Chen watched from Earth as the fleet's signal got farther away. "Good luck," she whispered. "Show them what humanity can do." The small human fleet sped on, ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy might throw at them. They were few, they were underestimated, but they were humanity's best. And they were about to make history. As the human fleet raced through space, an urgent message crackled through their communication systems. Captain Torres of the EDF Horizon leaned forward in his chair, his brow furrowing as he listened. "This is Gala 7, a peaceful mining colony in the Orion Arm," a panicked voice said. "We're under attack. Massive ships. They're destroying everything. Please, if anyone can hear us, we need help." The message cut off abruptly, replaced by static. The bridge of the horizon fell silent. Commander Sarah Lee looked at Torres. "Sir, that's not far from our position. Should we respond?" Torres nodded grimly. "Alert the fleet. We're changing course." As the human ships altered their trajectory, the 5 alien vessels that had been left behind finally caught up. The Zarkon captain hailed them again, his blue scales flushed with anger. "How dare you leave us behind?" he snarled. "We are here to guide you, not chase you across the galaxy." Torres kept his face neutral. "We've received a distress call from Gala 7. We're moving to assist." The Zarkon's eyes widened. "Gala 7? That's in Krill territory. This must be a mistake. Your ships are not equipped to handle such a threat." "Nevertheless, we're going," Torres said firmly. "You're welcome to join us or return home." The alien captain spluttered, but Torres had already cut the communication. He turned to his crew. "Battle stations. We don't know what we're flying into, but those people need our help." As the fleet approached Gala 7, they could see the devastation. Huge, insect-like ships swarmed around the small planet, firing strange green beams that ate through everything they touched. "Krill ships," Commander Lee whispered. "There's so many of them." Torres stood up, his face set with determination. "We knew this day would come. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can do. All ships, engage battle protocols." The human fleet spread out, each ship taking up a strategic position. The alien vessels hung back, clearly unsure about engaging such a large enemy force. Suddenly, the Krill noticed the newcomers. A swarm of their ships broke off from the planet and headed straight for the human fleet. "Here they come," Torres said. "Remember your training. We've prepared for this." As the Krill ships closed in, expecting an easy victory, the human fleet sprang into action. The EDF Nova, which had looked like a simple patrol ship, suddenly split open to reveal a massive energy cannon. It fired, and 3 Krill ships exploded into space dust. The EDF Phantom vanished from sight, only to reappear behind a Krill formation. It launched a barrage of missiles, catching the enemy completely off guard. Every human ship revealed hidden strengths. Weapons the Krill had never seen before. Shields that could withstand their corrosive beams. Maneuvers that seemed to defy the laws of physics. From their position behind the human fleet, the alien observers watched in amazement. The Zarkon captain's jaw dropped as he saw a human ship half the size of a Krill cruiser ram straight through it, emerging unscathed on the other side. "Impossible," he muttered. "How are they doing this?" Back on Earth, Admiral Chen and her team monitored the battle. "They're holding their own," Wang said, a note of pride in her voice. "But the Krill still outnumber them. Should we send reinforcements?" Chen shook her head. "Not yet. Let's see what they can do." As the battle raged on, news spread quickly through the galaxy. The Galactic Council received updates, and soon, representatives from various races were gathered, watching the fight with growing astonishment. And Eldar spoke, its glowing form pulsing with excitement. "These humans, they're incredible. How did we not see their potential?" The Pip, the small furry alien who had first spoken up for humanity, smiled knowingly. "We tried to tell you. Humans are full of surprises." Back at Gala 7, the tide of the battle was turning. The Krill, for the first time in centuries, found themselves retreating. Their swarm tactics were useless against the ingenious human defenses, and their superior numbers meant nothing in the face of Earth's advanced technology. As the last Krill ship fled the system, cheers erupted across the human fleet. They had done it. They had faced one of the most feared forces in the galaxy and emerged victorious. Captain Torres slumped in his chair, exhausted but triumphant. "Send a message to Earth," he said. Tell them humanity just made its mark on the galaxy." The battle was over, but the story of humanity's incredible victory was just beginning to spread across the stars. The galaxy would never be the same again. The dust of battle had barely settled around Gala 7 when a new challenge arose. A massive Krill mothership, easily 10 times the size of the largest human vessel, dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. Its arrival sent shockwaves of fear through the Allied forces. Captain Torres of the EDF Horizon gritted his teeth. "So, the real boss shows up," he muttered. Turning to his communications officer, he ordered, "Patch me through to the fleet." As Torres's face appeared on screens across the human ships, he spoke with calm determination. "We've won the first round, but the real test is here. Remember your training. Trust your ships and each other. We can do this." The Krill mothership wasted no time. It launched waves of smaller craft, filling the space around Gala 7 with a dizzying swarm of enemies. At the same time, it fired up its main weapon, a devastating energy beam that could slice a planet in half. Commander Sarah Lee's eyes widened as she saw the weapon charging. "Sir, they're aiming for Gala 7. Torres nodded grimly. "All ships, execute Operation Umbrella. Now." In a perfectly coordinated move, the human fleet spread out in a wide circle around the planet. Each ship extended a strange, dish-like apparatus from its hull. As the Krill weapon fired, the human ships activated these devices. A shimmering energy field sprang to life, connecting all the human vessels in a protective dome around Gala 7. When the Krill's planet-killer beam hit this shield, it scattered harmlessly into space. From their observation point, the alien allies watched in awe. The Zarkon captain, who had been so dismissive before, whispered in shock, "By the stars. How did they do that?" Meanwhile, the Krill seemed equally surprised. Their swarm tactics, usually so effective, were being countered at every turn. Human ships moved with impossible agility, their advanced AI systems predicting and responding to Krill maneuvers before they even happened. The EDF Phantom, still cloaked, snuck close to the Krill mothership. It launched a specially designed probe that attached to the massive ship's hull. Instantly, the probe began hacking into the Krill systems, disrupting their communications and coordination. Confusion spread through the Krill ranks. Without clear orders, their swarm fell into disarray. The human fleet pressed their advantage, picking off enemy ships with surgical precision. On the bridge of the horizon, Torres allowed himself a small smile. "Phase 2, he ordered. "Let's show them our stinger." 5 human ships broke formation, flying straight towards the Krill mothership. As they approached, they locked together, transforming into a single massive weapon. Energy crackled between them as they charged up. The alien observers gasped. The Eldar representative, its glowing form pulsing rapidly, exclaimed, "Impossible. Their ships can combine." Back on Earth, Admiral Chen watched the battle unfold with pride. Turning to her second-in-command, she said, "Looks like those Transformer movies were good for something after all." The combined human ship fired a concentrated beam of energy at the Krill mothership. It punched through the alien vessel's shields like they were paper, carving a deep gash in its hull. Wounded and outmaneuvered, the Krill mothership began to retreat. Its remaining smaller craft scrambled to follow, fleeing the system as fast as they could. As the last enemy ship disappeared into hyperspace, a cheer went up across the human fleet. They had faced the galaxy's most feared predators and emerged victorious. Captain Torres slumped in his chair, exhaustion finally catching up with him. "Stand down, Red Alert," he said, "and someone get me a coffee." As the human ships regrouped, messages flooded in from across the galaxy. The Galactic Council, other alien races, even some former enemies, all wanted to talk to the humans who had done the impossible. The Zarkon captain, his earlier arrogance completely gone, approached the horizon. "Captain Torres," he said, his voice filled with newfound respect. "On behalf of the Galactic Alliance, I extend our deepest gratitude and our apologies. We severely underestimated you." Torres nodded, accepting the apology with grace. "It's a common mistake," he said with a small smile. "But I think from now on, the galaxy will know better than to laugh at human ships." As news of the battle spread, the image of Earth and its people transformed overnight. No longer were they seen as primitive newcomers to the galactic stage. Now, they were hailed as saviors, innovators, and a force to be reckoned with. The age of humanity had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter in welcome. As the dust settled from the initial confrontation, the galaxy held its breath. The human victory against the Krill mothership had sent shockwaves through every corner of space. But the war was far from over. Deep in Krill territory, a massive fleet was gathering. The insectoid aliens, enraged by their defeat, were preparing for a full-scale assault. This time, they wouldn't underestimate the humans. Back at Gala 7, Captain Torres and his fleet worked tirelessly to prepare for the coming storm. They knew the Krill would return, and in greater numbers. Status report. Torres barked, his eyes scanning the holographic display of the system. Commander Sarah Lee responded promptly. All ships at 90% capacity, sir. Repairs are ongoing. The people of Gala 7 are evacuating to safer systems. Torres nodded grimly. And our guests? Lee smirked slightly. The alien observers are still here. They seem reluctant to leave. I think they want to see what we'll do next. Just then, alarms blared across the fleet. A young ensign called out, multiple hyperspace signatures detected. It's the Krills, sir. They're back. The space around Gala 7 lit up as hundreds of Krill ships dropped out of hyperspace. Leading them were 3 massive dreadnoughts, each easily dwarfing the mothership they had faced earlier. Torres straightened in his chair. This is it, people. The real test begins now. All ships, battle formations. Execute Plan Omega. The human fleet spread out in a complex pattern, each ship taking up a specific position. To the watching aliens, it looked like chaos, but there was a method to the madness. As the Krill fleet charged forward, the humans sprang their trap. The EDF Phantom, still cloaked, suddenly decloaked right in the middle of the Krill formation. Before the aliens could react, it released a powerful electromagnetic pulse, disabling dozens of ships in an instant. Taking advantage of the confusion, the rest of the human fleet struck. They moved with incredible coordination, their AI systems allowing them to react and adapt faster than any organic pilot could. The Krill, despite their numbers, found themselves constantly wrong-footed. Every time they thought they had the humans cornered, the Earth ships would pull off an impossible maneuver or reveal a new, unexpected weapon. On the bridge of one of the Krill dreadnoughts, the Hive commander chittered in frustration. How are they doing this? He demanded. They're so few, yet they fight like an army. Back on the EDF horizon, Torres watched the battle unfold with intense concentration. Now, he said quietly, execute Operation Trojan Horse. Suddenly, several seemingly disabled human ships in the midst of the Krill fleet came to life. They had been playing dead, allowing themselves to be surrounded. Now they activated powerful tractor beams, latching onto the nearest Krill ships and dragging them into each other. The result was chaos. Krill ships collided with one another, their formation falling apart. In the confusion, they began firing at their own vessels, unable to distinguish friend from foe. From their observation post, the alien allies watched in awe. The Zarkon captain, his scales pale with shock, muttered, "By the cosmic egg, these humans fight like nothing I've ever seen." An Eldar observer, its form glowing brightly with excitement, added, "Look at how they use their small numbers to their advantage. Every ship is precisely where it needs to be. It's beautiful." As the battle raged on, news spread quickly across the galaxy. Races that had dismissed humanity as primitive now watched with bated breath. Some even began to send ships of their own, eager to aid this surprising new power. On Earth, Admiral Chen monitored the battle from her command center. Her second-in-command, Lisa Wong, approached with a worried expression. "The Krill still outnumber us 10-1, she said. "Can we really win this?" Chen's eyes never left the tactical display. "Numbers aren't everything, Lisa. We've spent years preparing for this moment. Trust in our people. Trust in our technology. Back in space, the tide of battle continued to shift. The human fleet, though battered, stood firm against the Krill onslaught. Their innovative tactics and advanced technology were proving more than a match for the aliens' brute force approach. As a Krill dreadnought exploded in a spectacular ball of fire, a cheer went up across the human ships. They were holding their ground. They were winning. Captain Torres allowed himself a small smile. "Send word to Earth," he said. Tell them humanity stands strong. The galaxy will remember this day for centuries to come." The battle for Gala 7 raged on, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Against all odds, they were showing the galaxy why it should never underestimate the power of the human spirit. The battle had raged for hours, and the void of space was littered with the wreckage of both Krill and human ships. Despite their valiant efforts, the human fleet was beginning to show signs of strain. Shields flickered, hulls creaked, and exhausted crews fought to keep their vessels operational. Captain Torres stood on the bridge of the EDF horizon, his uniform singed, and his face streaked with sweat. "Status report," he called out, his voice hoarse from hours of issuing commands. Commander Sarah Lee responded, her fingers dancing across her console. "Sir, we're down to 60% of our original force. The Krill still outnumber us, but they've lost 2 of their 3 dreadnoughts." Torres nodded grimly. It was time for their final gambit. "Send the signal. Initiate Operation Phoenix." Across the human fleet, hidden compartments began to open. From each ship emerged swarms of small, drone-like devices. These were the Phoenix drones, Earth's secret weapon. The alien observers watched in confusion. The Zarkon captain scoffed. "Toys? They think to defeat the Krill with toys." But these were no ordinary drones. As they spread out across the battlefield, they began to glow with strange energy. Suddenly, they started to combine, forming larger and larger structures. The Eldar representative gasped, its luminous form pulsing rapidly. "Incredible. They're creating ships out of thin air." Indeed, before the astonished eyes of friend and foe alike, the Phoenix drones were assembling themselves into full-sized warships. Within minutes, the human fleet had doubled in size. On the Lid Krill dreadnought, the Hive commander chittered in panic. "Impossible. Where did these ships come from? How can we fight an enemy that creates armies from nothing?" The newly formed Phoenix ships wasted no time joining the fray. They moved with incredible speed and agility, their AI systems allowing them to coordinate perfectly with the existing human fleet. Captain Torres allowed himself a grim smile. All ships pressed the advantage. It's time to end this. The human fleet surged forward, their ranks swelled by the Phoenix ships. The Krill, already battered and confused, found themselves overwhelmed. Their swarm tactics, usually so effective, were useless against an enemy that could match their numbers and exceed their coordination. One by one, the remaining Krill ships fell. Some were destroyed, others fled in panic. The last dreadnought, its hull scared and burning, turned to retreat. But the humans weren't done yet. The EDF Nova, its energy cannon fully charged, moved into position. With a blinding flash, it fired a shot that pierced straight through the dreadnought's core. For a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Then, with a silent explosion that lit up half the system, the Krill flagship disintegrated. A stunned silence fell across the battlefield. Then, gradually, cheers began to erupt from the human ships. They had done it. Against all odds, they had defeated one of the most feared forces in the galaxy. As the realization of their victory sank in, messages began pouring in from across the galaxy. Races that had dismissed humanity now clamored to offer congratulations and seek alliances. The Galactic Council, which had once laughed at the idea of human membership, now extended an urgent invitation. On the observation ship, the alien representatives were in shock. The Zarkon captain, his earlier arrogance completely gone, turned to his companions. "We have witnessed history today," he said solemnly. "The galaxy will never be the same." The Eldar representative nodded, its glow pulsing with excitement. "Indeed, it seems we have much to learn from these humans. Their creativity, their adaptability. It's unlike anything we've seen before." Back on the EDF horizon, Captain Torres slumped in his chair, the weight of command finally lifting from his shoulders. "Send word to Earth," he said, his voice thick with emotion. Tell them we've won. Humanity has secured its place among the stars." As the news spread, celebrations erupted across Earth and its colonies. Humanity, once seen as a minor player in galactic affairs, had proven itself a force to be reckoned with. Admiral Chen, watching from Earth, allowed herself a rare smile. "Well done," she whispered, looking at the images of the victorious fleet. "You've made us all proud." The battle was over, but for humanity, a new chapter was just beginning. They had shown the galaxy their strength, their ingenuity, and their indomitable spirit. The stars, once so distant and forbidding, now beckoned with the promise of a bright future. As the human fleet began the journey home, the Phoenix ships dissipated back into their component drones, leaving the alien observers with one last display of Earth's remarkable technology. The message was clear: humanity was here to stay, and the galaxy would never underestimate them again. In the weeks following the historic Battle of Gala 7, the galaxy buzzed with excitement and change. The human victory over the Krill had sent shockwaves through every corner of known space. Earth, once a backwater planet of little consequence, now found itself at the center of galactic attention. On the gleaming space station Harmony, the headquarters of the Galactic Council, an emergency session was called. Representatives from hundreds of alien races gathered, their forms as diverse as the stars themselves. At the center of attention stood Admiral Sarah Chen, Earth's chosen ambassador. The council leader, a tall, crystalline being, addressed the assembly. "We are gathered here today to welcome a new power to our ranks. Humanity has proven itself not just worthy of joining us, but capable of teaching us all a valuable lesson." Admiral Chen stepped forward, her crisp uniform a stark contrast to the exotic attire of the alien diplomats. "On behalf of Earth and all human colonies, we are honored to join the Galactic Council. We come not to dominate, but to cooperate and learn." As Chen spoke, murmurs of approval rippled through the chamber. Many races that had once looked down on humans now eagerly sought alliances and trade agreements. The Zarkon, once dismissive of Earth's military prowess, now requested joint training exercises. The Eldar, impressed by human ingenuity, offered to exchange technological knowledge. Back on Earth, the effects of the victory were felt in every corner of society. Schools added xenobiology and interstellar politics to their curricula. Scientists worked tirelessly to adapt alien technologies for human use. The economy boomed as new markets opened up across the stars. In a small town in Kansas, a young girl named Emily looked up at the night sky, her eyes wide with wonder. "Mom," she asked, "do you think I could be a space captain someday?" Her mother smiled, remembering the stories of Captain Torres and the brave crew of the EDF Horizon. "Of course you can, sweetheart. The whole galaxy is open to us now." Meanwhile, on the newly rebuilt Gala 7, humans worked side by side with various alien races to construct a monument to the battle. The statue depicted a human hand and various alien appendages clasped together in unity, rising from the ashes of conflict. Not everyone was pleased with the new galactic order, however. In the dark corners of space, the remnants of the Krill swarm nursed their wounds and plotted revenge. Other races, jealous of humanity's sudden rise to prominence, whispered of forming alliances to check Earth's growing influence. Aware of these challenges, the human government didn't rest on its laurels. The shipyards of Mars worked around the clock, producing new vessels that combined the best of human innovation with advanced alien technology. Training academies were established on every human world, preparing the next generation to defend Earth's place in the stars. In a secret facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Chen met with the top minds of the human military. "We've won a great victory," she said, her face serious. "But this is just the beginning. We must be prepared for whatever the galaxy throws at us next." As if in answer to her words, an urgent message came through. A previously unknown race had emerged from a distant part of the galaxy, requesting a meeting with Earth's leaders. They claimed to have been watching humanity's rise with great interest. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity's actions had drawn the attention of forces beyond their current understanding. The galaxy, it seemed, was larger and more complex than they had ever imagined. Admiral Chen straightened her uniform, a determined glint in her eye. "Well," she said, "it seems our work is far from over. Let's show these newcomers what humanity is made of." As news of the alien contact spread, a mix of excitement and apprehension swept through human space. But underlying it all was a new sense of confidence. Humanity had faced its first great galactic challenge and emerged victorious. Whatever came next, they would face it together, with the same spirit and ingenuity that had carried them this far. In homes, schools, and spaceports across Earth and its colonies, people looked to the stars with new eyes. The galaxy was no longer a distant, unreachable realm. It was their home, their frontier, and their future. As the sun set on this new era of human history, one thing was clear: the laughter that had once greeted the sight of Earth's small fleet was gone forever. In its place was respect, curiosity, and perhaps a touch of fear. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they were here to stay.